Today's original with in-depth reporting on a topic we've been tracking. Russia's role in the International Space Station hangs in the balance as they refuse to sell rocket engines, something they make a lot of, to the U.S. It's yet another consequence of the ongoing fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And a key player is inflaming the dialogue. The director of Russia's space program sent a tweet suggesting if the U.S. were to block Russian cooperation in the International Space Station, it could have dire consequences for the spacecraft itself. Vaughn Hillyard has more on the future of the international space exploration.
Russia's deadly war on land is now impacting international efforts far beyond, in space.
It'll degrade their aerospace industry, including their space program.
Pointed words from President Biden announcing sanctions on Russia after the first days of the invasion. Now Russia symbolically removing other countries' flags from its rockets, including the United States. Russia's space director in a tweet saying the rockets were now, quote, more beautiful, prompting former NASA astronaut Scott Kelly to respond, without those flags and the foreign exchange they bring in, your space program won't be worth a damn. Maybe you can find a job at McDonald's if McDonald's still exists in Russia.
The space program has always risen above, geopolitical issues here on the ground, if you will. And this really puts a huge impact and hampers the international relations on the space station. So it's very concerning.
Relief. The structural ramifications of this wedge, consequential. In retaliation, Russia says it will no longer supply the U.S. with the RD-180, a major engine used in several American rockets. Russia's space director saying on Russian state TV, quote, let them fly on something else, their broomsticks.
How does Russia's refusal to supply additional engines for these rockets impact U.S. efforts?
There's several companies all throughout the country that are developing new engines and new launch vehicles. I think we're going to be fine. And I think it's going to hurt Russia then far more than it'll hurt the United States.
The European Space Agency is also distancing itself, saying it is, quote, very unlikely it will go forward with a joint mission this year to launch and land a robot on Mars. Russia even suggesting they'd allow the International Space Station to crash. Their space director tweeting, who will save the ISS from an uncontrolled deorbit and fall into the United States or Europe?
I think that relationship may be changed forever. I'm not sure that it could ever go back to what it was.
The International Space Station, though, currently occupied by 7 astronauts, including 4 Americans and 2 Russians.
How tied together are each nation's efforts in space?
So for the space station, it's highly coordinated. We're talking about a facility the size of a football field that is in orbit, and that takes a lot of energy and highly coordinated efforts.
What an absolutely fascinating report. And Vaughn Hillyard joins me now live in person. Thanks for being here, Vaughn. This is one of the fallouts from this tragedy that I think a lot of people don't think of. So how is NASA responding to everything that you just laid out there?
I think the immediate concern is what's happening at the International Space Station. And I just want everybody to take a look at NASA's statement, what they said, because they are insisting they are still cooperating with Russia, at least when it comes to the station, saying, quote, NASA continues working with all our international partners, including the State Space Corporation, Roskosmos, for the ongoing safe operations of the International Space Station. The new export control measures will continue to allow U.S.-Russia civil space cooperation. No changes are planned to the agency's support for ongoing in-orbit and ground station operations.
Okay, so pretty firm statement there from NASA. Obviously, you talked about the fact that there are still astronauts, the International Space Station. Talk a little bit about the logistics moving forward at this point.
In fact, this is all in real time. We're talking about on March 30th, just about 2.5 weeks from now, 1 American and 2 Russians are slated to leave the International Space Station together on a rocket, landing on a Russian base in Kazakhstan. Now, again, as you just heard from NASA, the plan is that will continue and proceed. But at the same time, of course, we're looking at about 3 weeks until that point comes.
Just extraordinary. And I think you really hit the nail on the head. This is minute by minute, so it could be changing at any time. Great reporting, Vaughn Hillyard. Great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.